Hey everyone, welcome back to the Parent Pivot Podcast. I am one of your hosts, Steve Cummings.
And I'm Julia Cummings.
And we're not going to talk about the weather today, but we have been on baby alert.
Yes, if any of you heard our podcast last week, you know our daughter is very, very pregnant. And we are waiting and waiting.
She is 40 weeks pregnant as of this recording. And in fact, we're recording on Monday, her birthday.
Yes, it's her birthday today.
And tomorrow is her husband's birthday, our son-in-law's. And we need this little guy born. We're like all on pins and needles.
Yes.
So this is grandbaby number 7 for Juju and Pop. We're not talking about the weather. We're talking about
baby boy.
We need little baby boy to make his arrival, and he is he's like enjoying the comforts of home.
Apparently,
and our poor daughter, she has been running around the house jogging. She has been bouncing on a big giant, what do you call that thing? The big red ball.
It's like a balance ball.
She has taken castor oil concoctions. What else has she done?
Dance.
She's done dance. She's done the walk where you step on a curb and go. I mean, she is doing everything.
Yes.
And still nothing's happening. He's a stubborn little guy. He's like going, I ain't coming out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm sure it says something about his personality. But,
it will be kind of funny to see, like, when we start having podcasts like a year from now, you guys will go, you guys remember when, we passed the due date and he's like, I ain't coming. And stuff, so.
In any case,
yes. I'm sorry.
We are here to talk about parents of adult children going from parenting to partnering.
Yep. What did you have on your mind today to talk to our friends about?
So I wanted to talk about when you don't agree with your adult child.
Oh, that never happens.
And that can be anything from something serious to something very mundane. But the problems remain the same in that. So let's say, I'm going to use Jamie Lynn's situation as an example. Let's say Jamie Lynn is trying to decide if she should have a C-section or if she should just wait it out and let God do what he's going to do. Okay. Let's say that this is a situation and I have a strong opinion and I am wanting to tell her what I think. I think you should really fight for having a C-section.
And are you saying
because he's a really big baby, and I think this, and this.
Are you inserting you there without being asked?
Right, I'm giving my opinion.
Okay, just want to check how we're framing this.
Right, and so she's like, "Mom, I have to make the decision." Blah 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 blah, and I am just really like, I don't know why she won't listen. I don't know why she won't do what I am saying to do. This was my experience. This is what happened with me. What is the big deal? Now, I would consider this semi-major if this were the scenario, okay? It could be something minor like, when I was raising my kids, I did it this way. It could be what you feed your kids. Oh, I used Gerber baby food. Why are you making your own food? It could be a million different things.
So much has changed since we raised our kids. They're all, she's turning 32 today. Our oldest is going to be turning 36 next month.
Right.
And so we've got older kids, and a lot has changed since we raised our kids.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about, I'm using this as an example because this is in our life right now with the baby coming. Yep. But let's say it doesn't even have to be a married child or somebody's having a child or anything like that.
So it could be, this could be my college age, young adult age, adult
right.
child.
And they want to spend their summer doing A and B, and you were like, no, you should be doing C. I know when I was in college, I worked at a Christian camp during the summers. And that always bothered my dad. He didn't like that because it didn't make enough money. And so he was bothered by that. I did it anyway.
And the fact that he was bothered by it and you knew about it, I'm sure that impacted you as an adult child. if he had kept his mouth quiet about it, would that have changed your reflection of him?
He did keep his mouth quiet. Okay,
but you said it bothered him.
It's because I know my dad.
Oh, okay, all right.
So I think to him, I should have been doing something.
My point was, since I work with identity and work with men, if I'm an adult child and I know that about my dad, then I'm doing something that I love, but I don't have dad's
approval.
He doesn't see me. He doesn't see my heart, and that's I'm just speaking from my lens.
And I always looked at it when I, during this period of time in my life, that my dad just didn't have the same values that I had. He didn't see the value in Christian camping at all. And Christian camping for me was life-changing growing up. So
it was life-changing for a whole family.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, two of our boys they chose their spouses because they went to the Hume Lake Christian camp together.
Yeah.
So two of our awesome daughter-in-laws, met their husbands at Hume Lake Christian camp.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is you may have a different opinion of how they are living, the decisions they make, how they're spending their time, what they eat, drink, who their friends are, all of those things, any of those things, maybe not, hopefully not all of those things, any of those things. And these are minor situations that are none of your business, and you should keep your nose out of. That is really the bottom line.
Wow.
And that is.
Thank you for the permission, Dr. Julia, for being able to say none of your business. I in a softer way, it's like, hey, like we've been saying for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Let your adult children fly out of the nest and do whatever God's calling them to do, whether that's going on the world race, like we've talked the last couple of weeks about, down to what you're going to feed your new baby.
Well, and it could be that your child doesn't care about what you think God's calling on their life is, because they may not be a believer at all. They may have a completely different worldview than you have. But it always remains the same. You have moved from parenting them to partnering with them.
That was the pivot. You just heard. Sorry, wrong sound. Sorry.
Unless somebody can see you. That's just
yeah, go watch the YouTube video. You can watch what I'm doing.
Yeah. In any case, you need to just learn to allow them to make their own choices.
That's so hard.
Now, let's say you actually have a verbal little disagreement on something. And it could be a big thing. It could be a little thing.
Little things usually grow into bigger things. Absolutely. Because the stuff underneath the surface is what's magnifying that.
Right.
I mean, even in a married conversation, I mean, it's like we never have big, huge conflicts over, I don't know, selling the house. It's always like something tiny.
Yeah. It's never about the thing.
So the same thing happens with our adult kids. It's never about, but there's the lens that we are all looking through, and we're responding and reacting to what's beneath the surface.
Right.
So no matter how little it is, I only was talking about this.
Right.
But if they have on the other side of you, again, I'm going to go back to the fact that one of the key things we can do in any relationship, but you have to have a humble heart. You need to spend time with the Father and being able to say, hey, what's it like to be on the other side of me? Yeah. How are you experiencing me? And then that's when you put the duct tape on. You just listen with your mouth covered in your ears and going, wow, I want to see what it's like to see how you see me through your eyes.
Part of what I wanted to bring up, though, is something that we are actually dealing with ourselves. And I'm just going to be really upfront and honest about it.
Okay, I have no idea where she's going, everybody. So this might be.
I'm sure you can guess.
Is there going to be a thump? Am I going under the bus?
No.
Okay.
It's in regard to your dad.
Okay. Here we go.
So let's say there's a disagreement, which there was several years ago.
You mean like 13 to be exact?
Yeah. Several years ago.
I have a book for you to read. I'll put it in the show notes. It's called The Father Eclipse.
Yes. And he keeps bringing this up even 13 years later, even with our children, he is, as the word you use, is relentless. And it can be like, for you, it's a different situation because this was the parent that you were raised with. But I've been part of this family for almost 40 years. And I'm exhausted. I'm really exhausted from it. And I just wish that I could tell him, as a parent of an adult child who's 64 years old, that
I'm not 15 anymore.
That he does not need to do this. He does not need to pound you over the head. He does not, whatever. So my advice to you parents who are having a disagreement with your adult child, who is not a child, they are an adult.
Yes.
They have their own thoughts. They have their own feelings. They have their own convictions. They have their own worldview. They have their own history.
They have their own negative experiences of you.
Yes, they have their own perceptions. All of those things. They are a unique bundle of a person that has all of their own things. And if I could say something to Steve's dad, I would be saying, well, number one, he's in bondage to a situation that doesn't exist, that he doesn't know his own son, because if he knew his own son, he wouldn't behave the way he behaves. Anyway, I feel strongly about this, and this is why I chose this topic today, because if you are in a situation with your adult child that is anything similar, any disagreement, and you just need from that adult child, I don't know, do you need an apology? Do you need some recognition that they're wrong or that you're right? Do you need to be right? What is your need in the situation that perpetuates the disagreement?
Right. I call that getting to the root of what's causing that thought. It's a negative thought. It's a negative emotion. And we need to be careful, because our behaviors emanate from that, which on the ministry side, for me, it flows from our identity. If we are living from our false identity, and I have to be right as mom or dad, or they're not doing it right, I have a negative thought or negative feeling, then I'm going to push hard that I have to solve this because I want relief. I need to see change the way I want it, or I'm going to continue to feel what's underneath the surface.
Which is anxiety, by the way.
It's anxiety and it's fear. It's like, wait a minute, do not push into your adult children. It's just going to make it worse, to the point of they're not going to want to be in a relationship with you.
Right. So you need to deal with your own anxiety, your own discomfort, your own perceptions, your own history, all the things that I mentioned that are your adult child's situation. You need to deal with that in your own life. What were the situations with your parents? What's your history? What causes you discomfort and anxiety in relationships? What is all of that about for you? Take time, take a beat, take a breath, and figure out yourself. I can't imagine how many times I've said something similar.
Well, and I will say this, my wife, this co-host of mine, who it was her idea to do this podcast a few years ago, plus the year that I said, no, I'm not doing that. She is the most kind and gracious and a therapist who listens and puts herself in the other person's shoes immediately. So like, for example, every time I'm downloading how I'm feeling about something, she is telling me what it's like to be on the other side of this, to sharpen my heart and make sure that I'm processing things well. So she is a peacemaker on the Enneagram. And after 38 years of marriage, you're experiencing your father-in-law the same way I am.
Yeah. I'm exhausted. It's sad. It's sad. They're living out their last days without relationship.
And not only that, but our kids are too. Yeah. Our kids have their own unique experiences of the same man.
Yeah. It's
and they're on the verge. I mean, relationships are just getting fractured left and right because of this one man's anxiety and fear and blame and shame game that he does.
Right. And I can say this too, and I think we had this conversation last night as we were talking about it. The truth of the matter is this man is kind and loving. He was the grandpa when the kids were little that was always on the floor with them.
Yep.
They took our kids to Disneyland, which I can't even imagine doing that. In all honesty, taking my grandchildren to Disneyland.
4 young kids, 5.5 years apart from oldest to youngest.
Yeah, I don't think they took all 5 at once.
4. We have 4 kids.
I'm sorry, all 4 at once.
I do remember that part. We don't have an extra one somewhere that's hiding.
In any case, I know his heart. There's
a lot of great.
But he is in bondage to a situation, like I said, that doesn't exist. And because of that bondage, he is severing relationship after relationship after relationship. And he is going back to a situation that, like I said, it doesn't exist. It doesn't.
We have moved on.
We moved on.
Both sides have moved on.
Yeah. So in any case, all that to say, if this is you on any level, I mean, you may listen to a situation and go, oh, well, that's not what's happening here. A form of it is exactly what's happening to you. If there is something between you and your adult children. And I just want to implore you, again, like as Steve always says, you need to worry about the relation, not worry. I hate using that word. It's about the relationship over being right. And you are always the parent. The expectation is different on you than it is on your child, because whether your child is 3 or 30 or 60, you are always the parent. It is a parent-child relationship, no matter what. Hopefully you've shifted into something different, but that is just the reality of it, which means the expectation is on you as the parent to create a situation where you can apologize for whatever hurt has been had, and you don't have to be right. It isn't necessary to be right.
I would say the biggest thing is everything. 100% of everything that happens to you in life is out of your control.
Yeah.
The only thing you can control is your own response. And the question is, what do I want my response to be? Do I want it to hinder the relationship and fracture it? Or do I want relationship and have a legacy to build from, even though it's not how I would do it?
Yeah.
They're not listening to what I would do. That's okay. Can you love the child, the adult kid, the adult? I mean, if it was someone else's adult child, we mentor them and can love other adult children just fine. But for whatever reason, when it comes to ours, they have our DNA, but they're still our child. I go back to the prodigal son, prodigal daughter story. Love them for who they are.
Yeah.
For being your son, for being your daughter, and let them be, and turn everything. And we say this almost in every podcast. Thing. So let the little things go from plastic baby bottles to glass baby bottles, because this generation wants to do things more whole things. In fact, I am having to use a wooden toothbrush.
Well, that's your wife. That's not the next generation, but yes, but it's a bamboo toothbrush.
I sit there and go, you know what? Do I want to have a relationship with this beautiful woman sitting next to me that I co-host with? Then I'll use the wooden toothbrush. Does it brush my teeth the same way as the plastic one? No, the plastic one's got a little motor and it's got a bigger thing on it. And I'm used to it. But the wooden one is healthier for me.
No plastics. Yes.
Anyway, all I'm saying is those are not battles that you need to fight for.
Right. Right.
I fractured a relationship over a toothbrush or over nursing or not nursing, or kinds of diapers, or whether it get induced for a baby to be born or not. It's like, really, is that the legacy you want to leave for your kids and grandkids? They're going to go, you remember the time when things blew up in our family and either Pop or Juju or whatever got all bent out of shape because of this small thing? Is that what you want to be known for? I don't think so.
Yeah.
So again, we go back to the premise of our entire podcast for the last almost 4 years.
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut and the welcome mat out. And it's so hard because we have our hands up.
And that's a quote from Jim Burns. That's not our quote. We just use it a lot. Yeah.
Yes. But we look at each other sometimes when things are going on and we're like, they're watching YouTube. I'm closing my mouth shut. It's not worth it.
No.
I can't control anything but my own response. And I want my response to, as much as I possibly can, be 100% loving towards my adult kids. Yeah. I want to stay in that space of we have pivoted.
We're certainly working on it.
Yes. We've pivoted over to partner, and we want to bring all of you over to the side with us. So if you've got questions, you've got things like, hey, well, Steve and Julia, what about this situation? Hey, what about that situation?
Yeah.
We would love to talk about it. If you give your permission, we won't use your name or whatever, but just, give us enough detail to talk about a situation.
Yeah.
And just email us at parentpivotpodcast@gmail.com. And things. The other thing we'd love for you to do is to take this podcast and share it on your social media. Would you rate and review it?
Please give us a 5-star review, because that makes a big difference of who sees us and the algorithm.
And we want to be guests on other podcasts, as well as we've had a lot of guests on our podcast. We have some more coming up and things. So we got those lined up and things. But we are here for you. This is Pure Ministry. You notice we don't have an ad interrupting us. I don't know how many times I watch a podcast and I'm watching YouTube, and all of a sudden, here comes the ad for whatever. I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
We do not do ads.
No.
This is all ministry related stuff. We want to come alongside you and serve you as best we can, and help you pivot from being that parent to a partner. It doesn't happen overnight.
No.
That's why we're here every week.
I just want to say, you guys may be listening to this and you're hearing a rawness in my voice. And that is one of our promises on our podcast, that as we deal with things, we will bring them up and talk about them, because they're usually things that others deal with as well. So we try to be very authentic and real in the things that we're dealing with. And by the way, there is no conflict between us and our daughter and what she's supposed to do. But
she has asked us questions to get your input.
Yeah, she has, and we
sit there and
we've spent some time praying over her and things, but we need to allow her to make her decisions, no matter what inside.
Because at the end of the day, that baby will be born.
Yeah, exactly.
Why does it matter how he comes out?
Right. So all that to say, we are passionate about this today because it is fresh and raw. And because Steve's been done for a while, and I'm in a position where I'm like,
done with what?
Okay, I can't do it anymore with your dad.
Yes.
So all that to say, I'm assuming that there are those of you out there that can relate with something similar, either with an adult child or an aging parent or whatever it is. So anyway, I just want to get that.
Yeah. And so I'm going to drop a link in the show notes to my new book that I have with the Ministry for Bringing Kingdom. I also have a daily 5-minute podcast for men. Women, you can listen to it too as well if you'd like to. Just talking about identity, beloved sonship. But the book is called The Father Eclipse: How Your Earthly Father Shaped Your Identity and How to See God Clearly Again. It's been available on Amazon. I'll put a link to the show notes in there. One of the chapters is about not being an eclipse to our adult kids. And fathers, this is mostly to us because that word father brings up their experience of you.
Yeah.
And this is the heartbeat of what we're saying here today, is their lens is being shaped, that was shaped mostly between 0 and 12, but it's still continually being shaped. And if we're not aware of how we're coming across to our adult kids, like my 89-year-old father is, we are going to fracture relationships. So this book would be super helpful for you. If you'd like to grab a copy, I'll put it in the show notes. And
I would say, It can be, although it's called the Father Eclipse and it is a book meant for men. It definitely, if you have any issues with your parents, I definitely believe, whether you're a woman or a man, that it would benefit you to kind of take a personal inventory and kind of look at that for your own self.
Yeah. It's definitely. I wrote it to men because I'm obviously a man and talking to other men, and men, we have a hard time getting into our hearts. And I think all the wives are nodding their heads and going, "I'm going to make sure my husband listens to this podcast, or at least listens to Steve's podcast," because we were never taught. It was never modeled for us of how to get into our heart and understand our emotions. All we know is this is very uncomfortable. We want relief. And we fix problems. That's why when we talk to our wives, we come in as fixers, because I want all this anxiety to go away. Yeah. My dad never learned that, and that's okay. I don't blame him. But there comes a point where it's like, if you're not going to stop, I'm not going to be around.
Right.
I'm checked out.
Need
I'm
you
done.
to stop pounding me over the head.
Yeah. So get in touch, men, with who you are on the inside. Ladies, pick up a copy for your husband, really, because it will help take the step toward you to be emotionally connected to your husband.
Yeah. And
things. I also do one-on-one identity coaching. So Julia's doing counseling. If you want to get in touch with her, hey, we need some help navigating something, we'll put the link in the show notes to Meadowbrook Counseling. Schedule some time with Julia. You've had a good half a dozen or dozen of our podcast guests that you've talked to and stuff. So it happens not every week, but hey, here's a situation, or we'll do something together. So we're here for you. Yeah. Use us and use these resources and things. So,
we didn't mean for this to be
we didn't mean to turn a commercial.
However, it is significant, I think, to deal with our own, excuse my language, our own crap. So,
what did you say?
Crap.
Anyway, hey, thanks for joining us. You don't have anything else, right?
Nope.
Okay. Thanks for joining us. Hopefully next Tuesday, we're going to tell you a great story of how our 7th grandbaby boy arrived into the world.
Yes.
So make sure you listen to that one, and then join us again for another Parent Pivot podcast.
Bye.